It's a game. Which screen is he on? Let's see. Multi check.
Can you hear me? This is doing, yeah. This is doing a lot better now.
Yeah, a little bit there. Not too bad. Alright, well, let's get into it. Let's get into it, folks. Hopefully everyone's doing alright. Smash the like and drop a comment. Let us know where you're from, how you feel about current events. Let's chat about it and see what we think's gonna happen in the markets, I guess, because it's all speculation, folks. It's all speculation. Alright, let's go into this. Hotkeys aren't working today, so I'm gonna have a little bit of a fun time, but thanks for joining us for this exciting time. Hey, folks. Oh, yeah, I got that verb up there big time. Nice. Good thing I put the headphones on. Almost didn't put the headphones on.
How are we sounding now?
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Music's a little hot. We'll pull that back a bit. Oh, hey, folks. Welcome back to Shirley Sound Studio. My name is Martin, but you can call me Marty, and this is my show, so let's go. What's going on in the world today? What do we know? I don't know. Let's look at the charts and figure out what we think is going to happen. And I'm here with AK. How you doing, buddy? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Apparently turning out to be quite a different New Year.
Right into the action in January. And would you look at that? Bitcoin's starting to slip a little bit. Some clear resistance here. Clear resistance. But of course, everyone's wondering what's going on with Venezuela and how is it going to affect the markets? How is it going to affect your life? That is a very good question. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the traditional stock market. We're going to talk about the crypto stock market. We're going to talk about blockchain integration into your future. It is happening fast and it is coming without any warning. So let's get into it. This is the Bitcoin chart on the 15-minute. Not really a big significant at the time, but hitting some resistance here. First thing I want to talk about though is USTD dominance. First of all, we're breaking out of resistance. And so if USD dominance is rising, that means that more people are holding the USD version of crypto than other cryptos. So this is not a price, it's just a percentage dominance of the market. So every time they add money to the US dollar, anytime they print US dollar, it's going to add supply to USDT as well. So that's one of the little cheat codes about trading is if you understand how USDT works and you follow the cap supply and what's going on with it, you can, since it tracks the dollar 1-to-1, it shows you exactly what's happening with the US dollar. So traditionally you get an M2 money supply update once a month, which is what the Federal Reserve will tell you once a month what they've added to the books or subtracted to the books. And once a month, come on guys, like technology is instant these days and you're giving us updates once a month. There's got to be a better way, right? Of course there's a better way. You just won't be told about it. You got to find it yourself. So this is USDT dominance, the USDT crypto that represents the US dollar on the blockchain. And so you can go to certain websites like CoinMicroCap and check the supply, watch if it's increasing, et cetera, et cetera. Use those numbers and analytics to increase your chances of knowing what's coming next, because that's all we can really do. Nobody knows exactly what's going to come next, but we can increase our odds with knowledge, because knowledge is power. With great power comes great responsibility. So you got to do something with it. So I think, just judging by the look of this, we've had a USTD dominance break of structure here. This is the daily time frame. This goes all the way back a year. So basically the whole time that Bitcoin has been going up. Let's go to the daily on Bitcoin. Reset the scale. Get rid of all the scribbles. Get rid of the Bob Ross. Kind of looks like Bitcoin's going to go up here, to be honest with you. That's a nice little, that does look kind of nice, I will admit. But
it's not where we're kind of expecting it to go.
Not what we're expecting. And that's another thing too, is if we go back, just what we're going to do here is go for the UST dominance reference back a year. And so looking at the charts here, so that's Bitcoin did this while UST did that. It's come from down. So this was the bear market in 2022, starting to lose dominance as Bitcoin is starting to gain dominance, right? Because Bitcoin and USDT are really the only ones you care about. The alts are dead. Like, sorry to burst your bubble, but there'll be utility in the future. But right now, as far as safe haven for hedge against inflation, you have Bitcoin.
You know,
that's it, or gold or silver.
Alts will eventually be each country's own currency.
Yeah, alts will come in.
That's it. And then there will be a global currency, which is basically Bitcoin.
Yeah, world reserve currency is Bitcoin, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, and your Ethereum will be like a US dollar, basically.
Absolutely. Ethereum will be controlled by the US,
exactly.
Whatever, because it already is. So then USDT is on Ethereum. So that's why they want it. And that's right. So Tether is on Ethereum. And so
Ethereum is the one that they can control everything on. Bitcoin is the one that you want to be using and investing in for the freedom.
Bitcoin's the one you want to be paying attention to. You just want to study Bitcoin. That's all you really need to do. Like, nobody needs to buy anything. Once you study it, then you'll be more comfortable. And once you are more comfortable, then you'll probably buy it. And then once you watch the numbers change the way they do in a positive way, unlike inflation making everything more expensive, everything gets cheaper when you live on a Bitcoin standard. So you go from having 5% of your portfolio to Bitcoin, and after a few years, you'll have 100% of your Bitcoin. Your portfolio in Bitcoin, because
and you'll be upset you only had 5%.
Exactly. Your only regret is ever that you didn't buy more. And
honestly, that's mine.
It's the longer you're in, that's how it works. And I mean, yes, retraces like this happen, and we have years like this where we have big retraces, but those are because stuff like that happens because look at this, like we have massive,
ridiculous,
right? Like this is unstable, so we need to come back and find balance. Okay, what we've seen this cycle that's a little bit different is, although it does look a little bit crazy, it hasn't been as straight up. You know, we've had consolidation, so this is healthy. You know, we're with the moving averages. You know, we've come under this moving average. And what is likely to happen is some sort of retrace up towards them, because they are what we gravitate back towards always. But yes, they are getting spread apart, so they do need to settle down a bit. So for that to happen, it would then come back up into this area, right around 100K again, which would kind of make sense. We come back up before maybe coming back down and sweeping this low, because there's definitely still this gap in here. There's still this gap in here that I think we need to spend some more time in. So
this could also be your false breakout into where it drops and clears it out and breaks up again.
Well, that's just it too. What's happening right now is people are just continuing to short. Like, this is all short liquidity coming in. This is just in the last 24 hours. We have 28 million, 10 million, 27 million, 24 million. Like, this is all just in the last 24 hours of people shorting. We do have a lot of people longing too. There's 38 million, so there's some liquidity to the downside.
We had a really nice dip there to get a long in around that 87.
Yeah, well, it was right? A nice little liquidity sweep and then continued higher.
But seeing it continue to climb is what's going on right now? Why?
Well, that's just it, right? It kind of doesn't seem right, and especially when you look at the S&P, this looks very topish. Like, that's very topish here, folks.
Your stocks are all over.
Yeah. If you haven't taken profits and you are in the traditional market and like this whole rise, definitely take some profits.
Take 50%.
Not efficient.
50% of what you put
not
in.
final. Well, at least, I don't know. Not financial advice. You got to do your own research, but just look at this. We're up, sideways, battling, loses the battle. Up, sideways, battling. Are we going to lose the battle? With what's happening in the news, will it be a catalyst to seeing us come back down to the 6,000 range, right? And again, that's why I say take profits, because if we do crash, it's only going to come back down to balance. And then buy. And then it's going to continue on doing the same old thing. And this is, right, because of the devaluation of the dollar. And so this is what brings us to Venezuela. Okay, the devaluation of the dollar, because in an instant, overnight, the world is split again. I don't know what to tell you. Like this is how
got an opinion on where they don't live.
Well, this is how the market makers manipulate your decisions.
Yeah, they make you think what they want you to think.
Everything is strategic. Every move that happens with everything is strategic. Okay, it's all a show, basically. I mean, for lack of a better word, like metaphorically speaking,
it's a circus.
It's a show. Okay, so unfortunately, in this show, it's terrible, but people's lives are ruined. But every time that they ruin people's lives, other people get richer, right? Because there has to be a buyer for every seller. There has to be a seller for every buyer. So the greed and the rich people in this world need to ruin your life to make their life better, which is ridiculous because their life is amazing already. They're just greedy.
Yeah.
But that's how the world works. So you have the extremely poor. And now none of this is, don't take this seriously, or I don't know how to say this. Like, this is all, I don't live in Venezuela. I don't know anybody there. I haven't talked to anybody there. I've seen things on the internet, and I can kind of base what I think is happening with a market bias, a financial bias.
An economic standpoint,
exactly.
Not a political standpoint.
Exactly. Economics, very well said. Thank you. But what I've seen is people in the streets that are poor in Venezuela celebrating the infiltration. Now, I've seen the rich are very upset about it.
Yeah.
Now, wouldn't that make sense, right? Because over the past 6 years, the president or dictator or whatever he is, or I don't know what it is, I'm not going to label it, but the guy that they took, he basically turned that country into ruins in 6 years by inflating their currency. So what he did was printed a bunch of money, and it made their money worth nothing. So people that are poor get poorer, but the people that hold assets there get richer. So they want to inflate the dollar. You see, for the rich, inflation is great. They get richer.
That's why they do it every year.
That's why it continues to happen.
You don't have to inflate every year.
No, you don't have to.
Bitcoin doesn't inflate.
You don't have to. But the thing is that it once served purpose to drive build an economy.
Yeah, a growing economy.
To grow, to kickstart the engine, right? But we don't need it to sustain. It's terrible for sustaining. Okay, it's the starter in the engine, but it's not the fuel that keeps it running. Fuel that keeps it running is people working hard, first of all, and people wanting to work hard. And I get why people aren't working hard now, is because the dollar that they're supposed to be working hard for isn't hard. So they're working hard, but they're not getting something hard in return. So that makes sense.
No, it's a great way of putting it. It's almost like an engine. You're holding your key on start.
Yeah, exactly. You just rip it. The starter
doesn't need to constantly be on start.
No.
The car is started.
Starter's worn out.
So we just need to cruise.
Exactly, and we need to do that properly by. But the thing is that lack of education is allowing the people who have education to take advantage of those who don't.
Because your education doesn't come from the education system.
Exactly.
Your education is going to come from reading books, unfortunately, from a library. Go to a library. I mean, even the internet. I mean, you can find the stuff now. You got to understand economics. School doesn't teach you anything about economics and life and how to go about it.
No. And luckily enough, we have the internet nowadays, so we can search for anything. And that's the big thing too. Of course, AI is a massive speculation that's happening right now. Investors don't know what to do with it. I don't think it's really that hard. AI is going to do and become more integrated than any technology we have, including the internet.
It's our cruise control.
Right. So
it can.
There's going to be some shaky. There's going to be some shaky times because we are transitioning. Society, economics, finance, everything is transitioning. Everything is transitioning to a blockchain-based system, which you want if you want a true democracy and a full, transparent system. Now, if the people who run the world now get in and take over this blockchain, then nothing will really change for 99% of the people. There'll be 1% of the people that figured it out early, hopped on board when the big players did, and then they will just be the higher upper middle class that kind of doesn't get affected by anything because they position themselves properly. They're not going to be...
We're going to live in our own little worlds, on our own little islands, away from all the crap, and just do our own thing.
Unfortunately, it's going to be something along the lines of like the Hunger Games, where you have District 1, District 2, all the way to District 10. Like, there's going to be levels.
There's going to be Bitcoin society.
Exactly. There's going to be the people who stack Bitcoin and can actually maintain an economic structure because there's value, there's hard money being passed around. And then there's going to be people who didn't and are unfortunately relying, which is the same way the world works today. There's places in the world where if you had $100 American, you could live for weeks, right?
Yeah.
And there's places over here, like where we live, where $100 American doesn't get you by for 4 hours, right? But we have the ability to earn some of that hard money here, so we are still considered to be rich in a broad scheme of things. But the crazy thing is that Bitcoin is saving those who have nothing to lose. So those people are willing to take the risk because they have nothing to lose, and in fact they are the ones that are actually benefiting the most because they're witnessing their dollar be deflated before the West. The West still has a strong dollar compared to the rest of the world. Now, someone like you and I who look at it and understand how it works, we laugh when we hear strong dollar because we understand Bitcoin and we understand real strength and real hard money. But it's true because on a broad scheme of things, there is what they use in Venezuela, but they're now putting in dumpsters because it's basically just toilet paper.
It's paper.
It's paper, right? It's paper. It's printed. It's printed by an entity, and then the rest of the people are told that they have to work for it. But yet, they also continue to print more, and then they're stealing your savings from you. You're stealing your value from you by printing it, by devaluing it. So these people that have it much worse have been forced to things like Bitcoin, right? And we're seeing like India, I think, is one of the, as far as individuals holding Bitcoin, I think India is one of the more popular places in the world where people are holding Bitcoin. Of course, the population is large there, so huge, so that makes sense. But like, still, like there's like the West is low on the list
because the West is uneducated. I mean, and they keep it that way. Unfortunately, people are too busy, consumed in their own lives, consuming shit. And rather than simply being like, why is my dollar being devalued?
Well, and then
why am I paying more and more and more for less and less and less?
And then all of a sudden
and then
getting
they go
in
and
debt.
they sit on the couch and do nothing.
And then getting in debt over it. And then being like, oh, it's okay.
Oh, I have
and
a
having
job.
Multiple credit cards. And maxing out. It's like, holy man. Like,
and then just transferring that debt, or like, if you're going to have debt and transfer it around from banks, at least have that debt in Bitcoin or assets or something that's paying the debt off.
Exactly. You have to have that debt invested. Most people, poor people have debt. Rich people collect interest. Which is the poor people's debt. Right. Which it's a terrible, terrible system. But if you educate yourself on how it works, you can get out of it.
And that's the thing. It's not like I'm super wealthy. I just invested in it, and over time, you know, it becomes, and it builds and builds, and it works out. Like, you don't need to start with $100,000, $200 million.
Well, that's just it. Start with $10. Start with $10. Just start from, like, just like anything, like in Happy Gilmore. Where do you start? From the bottom.
Your life.
Right? I don't know where to start.
Changes. When you get
start.
When you first get your 10% increase, you sit there and you go, you know what? Life's gonna be okay.
Exactly.
Everything in life is gonna be okay.
You stop worrying.
And when you see that 30% drawdown, which we've just gone through, you sit there and you buy more because you go, life's going to be okay.
Exactly.
You know.
And you understand the DCA program. You understand just that, like, time is your greatest asset, right? So you don't need to spend too much time worrying about when to buy, when to sell. If you don't want to, you can just DCA into a hard currency. Like lots of people have been doing this. This is nothing new. People have been doing this with gold, silver, anything that's hard.
They just don't teach you it.
They just don't teach you it in school. Absolutely. And they don't even teach you it in like college and university
No,
anymore.
Of course not. No, college and university is where you go to
create debt.
Yeah, this is where they want to bury you.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just so many scams going on.
You have to remember who started all these schools.
Yeah.
Right? Who's giving you the credential for that program, right? I mean, there's a lot of questions that nobody answers or asks anymore, unfortunately.
Well, exactly, because they just think that's the way it is because they were born into it.
And I don't like that. You should always ask questions.
Always be skeptical. Definitely always ask questions. Figure out why. So look at this. There is quite a bit of liquidity to the downside under the last low that we just had. So building the price up, not only are we liquidating shorts, but we're building long liquidity as well. So this is how the market works. It teases, drops, or teases, pumps. Okay, so people call pump and dump. It's like, sure, it's dump and pump and dump, however you want to look at it. It does it both. But over the long term, it going up and to the right because of inflation, and we know that it's going to do the pump and dumps because it's trying to shake out the weak hands. It doesn't want everybody to win. It wants the patient and the educated to win. The patient and the educated get to take from the impatient and the uneducated.
Exactly.
That's what the markets do, unfortunately. So looking at this on a daily time frame, we are now, if you're wondering, is it a good time to buy Bitcoin?
It's always a good time to buy Bitcoin.
Pretty much. From the all-time high, I mean, it always depends on your time horizon, but yeah, long term, if you're looking for a savings account, an RRSP or something like that, then Bitcoin is your best performing asset. Okay, that's not my opinion. That's just, it is what it is. But we are down. Look at this. We went down 42% at one point from the top.
Ooh.
So that's great. That's great. That's a discount. It's a 42% discount.
Oh,
we are now only down 27%. Okay.
So we've gained. See, I see that as a gain of 20.
Absolutely, right? So that's a big gain there. And
actually, I don't even know if I'd be looking to buy right now.
I'm
wondering up 20% down from there.
This is now our range in here.
Is kind of where
so we're getting close to the high of the range. And I had that box on here. I figured we'd come up to here, but I figured this would happen here.
Yeah.
So since we broke out and then we kind of got stuck under, we've broken back in, but that changes things. If we zoom in, for chances for us to go much higher, we would need to see us break this trend, basically, and the trend wouldn't break until we get above the 886 and then take this high out and come up to 96, which we thought we were gonna come up to around here, but there's just not enough demand right now. And there's a lot of people from the Satoshi era taking profits because these people bought Bitcoin when it was in the cents, and they have a lot of it, right? So they weren't ever able to take profits until the market was as healthy or as mature as it is now.
Well, and how easy it is to access it. I mean, to sell your
exactly
Bitcoin
yeah
now,
before it was
nowadays,
you had to mine before, you had to code before, you had to right. So
even
absolutely
2015 it wasn't as simple as just logging on to an app and buying Bitcoin.
Exactly. But it's good though, because that's just market maturing, right? When we first started getting oil out of the ground, it was also very hard, but we've made it so that you can go to the pump now and you can literally just buy it instantly, right? So that's how everything works. At first it's going to be hard, but if you're willing to do that hard work, you're going to reap the reward for doing that hard work and taking that risk.
I would really like to see more people in the world getting on board and buying Bitcoin while these OGs sell their Bitcoin, and we don't have governments and institutions buying it up.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's right? Just it. Because
that's the problem.
Everybody would be rich if everybody bought Bitcoin.
Yeah, right. And it could happen within a year.
Absolutely.
If everybody would just go out and buy $100, there wouldn't be any more Bitcoin to buy.
Yeah, and that $100 of that value that you put in, let's just say at some point,
it would be ridiculous if there was nothing to buy.
What BlackRock and the other elites are trying to do right now is stop everybody from running to Bitcoin all at once, right? Because if that happens,
well, yeah, there's none to buy.
There's then Bitcoin has the God candle that people are talking about. It's very possible for it to happen. We're talking about a limited supply here that only that there's only so much of it, right? So once
this is a limited edition kind of money.
Exactly.
This is a limited edition gold.
Yeah, if you're a Pokemon card fan or or hockey card fan, this is the limited edition. This is the Charizard of finance.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a good card anymore.
I don't know, man. I know that those cards go for like, somebody said they sold one for like 100K.
Oh, geez.
So could you imagine that well, there you go. Your 10-cent card being $100,000.
I wonder how many Charizards there are. Like actually, right? Because it's scarce, right? That's why.
Well, I mean,
it's a low number.
With them as kids and chucked them around and ripped them.
Yeah.
Who the hell is
so funny
keeping that in a...
But that's supply and demand. That's economics, right? So like if you have too much of something, it becomes less valuable. We don't have a lot of Bitcoin, and it's so easily used. Once you start using it, once you use it once, I mean, I get it. It's a learning curve because it's different. But that's the thing is like with everything, it's the kids that are growing up with it that are really going to adapt it and make it part of their economic society or whatever. Adults don't like to change. For some reason, I don't know. I love new things. Every time something new comes out, I like to figure it out. But maybe that's just me. But it's like you got to be able to adapt. And technology right now, it's happening so fast that like if you can't adapt within weeks of something coming out, you're left behind. Like the new AI, like whatever, right? Like if you don't, and then that's what is actually pushing people away because they're like, you know what, screw this. I'm already too far behind. I didn't get on it the day it came out, and now it's been 3 weeks, and I'm right. So, but no, there's always time.
It's awesome. You just get into it a little bit. No, nothing was ever just
absolutely
understood within 5 seconds like that. You're not going to get this, especially when you haven't been taught it, understood it. You've been taught the complete opposite. You have to basically destroy everything that you were taught and relearn it.
Yeah,
it's not.
It is totally a break it down and rebuild situation.
And it's very simple actually when you see it happen in front of your own eyes and you're doing it with your own money and your own time, and you're not seeing money and wealth being built. You're seeing your time being given back to you.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's the key.
And your sense of just like is everything going to be okay, right? Like people are all stressed on what are the antidepressants and all these things, like it's like dude, they're causing the problem and providing you a solution to treat the symptom. They're not fixing the problem.
No, it's money. They're taking exactly the thing they're printing to make you poor. They're also creating all these problems and solutions to get you to spend that thing they print. I mean,
to make more money for them because they're invested.
It's insane.
That's the thing too. It's like,
whereas I'm just high on Bitcoin 24/7.
Right, because you're invested in the future of finance. So
I'm invested in the next era. There's a new empire. I don't know what it is, but the 100-year empire, 120-year empire, it's done.
Yeah.
So whatever this new one is, I'm invested in it.
Exactly.
You know, it's going to happen whether we like it or not.
Will there be some turbulence? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. There's always turbulence with change.
I don't like everything, but I want to invest in the future.
But you want to protect yourself and your family and the people that are around you so that you can continue to live the life that we're living, right? It's like a lot of people, you're going to get rich. It's like, it's not really, at this point, it's not about getting rich. It's about not having the rug pulled from under your feet.
Yeah.
You don't want to just end up losing all your shit because the money that you had is now worth nothing.
Well, like I know a lot of parents are just screwed. Mortgages. They've constantly borrowed and buried themselves because, well, they were part of that generation or born into that generation when they took the dollar off the gold standard. And they were the first generation to see that massive inflation, but they got to buy everything and own everything before the big hike.
But they were doing it with high interest rates.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. Like I can't even imagine. I mean, I get it because of the way the yield curve works. When the yield curve is low, as far as the money printing goes, like there's a lot more room for higher interest rates. But now with with where it is, I was having a conversation with a guy in the bar when I was in the States a while back, and he was like, Like I always just I don't try and say shit, but every time I'm with somebody who knows me and we're like, oh, and somebody brings up economics or finance, or like, oh, you got to talk to this guy, man. You got to talk to this guy. I'm just like, hey, follow me on YouTube and get me with on there. I don't know. Because people can get heated in certain situations and I don't want no part of that shit because it is what it is. I don't have an opinion, but you just, do your research. But anyway, this guy, oh, I grew up in the 80s and interest rates were 20% and all this stuff. He's like telling me how, this was a few years ago, telling me how interest rates are going to keep climbing. And I was like, dude, you got to do the math, man. It's actually untangible for interest rates to continue to climb. Yeah. Because if interest rates climb, then they have to print more money to pay off the debt. Right? Like it doesn't work that way. Like there's just lack of education on the situation, right? And on the.
Well, again, they don't teach you any of this. You're just taught to. Well, it's what school teaches you. Go to school from 9 to 3. Be a good, shift worker. You go get your grades.
Yeah.
And that's it. You're not actually taught anything. If you open your world up to everything outside of North America, you'd be surprised at what they teach other cultures, children. Very good idea. We are very far behind, I feel, in
well, by design, because they want
the people who came over here the families want control.
Yeah, but development is profitable. So where countries are developing, that's where they want people to start to grow, because they will start to build, and then when they build, they're going to need money. They're going to borrow value to build, right? Because everything's a debt system, one way or another. Whether we switch to back to hard money again or not, we still need to go into the bank or go into your lender and be like, hey, this is what I want to do. I need to borrow money to do it, and I'll pay you back after that, because that's just always how it is. It's always do the job first and pay later, right? That's just how it always is. So in that case, you need to borrow the money to do the job and then pay the back. So when country is already developed, and it just needs to be sustained, it loses its profitability from investors and traders. They don't want stagflation, they want volatility. So that's why we've seen so much crazy shit in the West over the last 20 years, because it was built and it was set up to sustain. But they don't want that.
It was so perfect to sustain too.
Yeah.
What a beautiful.
It would have been amazing.
Everything. Oh, it was set up.
But ever since the year 2000, they realized, hey, like we've got nowhere else to go here, really, as far as like.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, what are
we going to do? Continue to build more buildings, but we actually don't even have enough people for the buildings that we're building.
Yeah.
Right, and we don't have enough jobs or office demand. So it's like the real estate market was where investors made their money, and they're realizing that they can't push it any further than demand. Right, so it hits a point where they lose the ability to make interest, to make money. People are stop building. They're just, we're good. We don't need another skyscraper. We don't need it. But okay, well, let's get rid of two. Let's get rid of two, and we'll change things a bit, and then everything happens from there. And then that creates volatility, mass panic. People don't know what to do. People are scared. People have indecision and make the wrong decision. And people make so much money off of volatility. When the market crashes, they can bet against it. You can bet against the market and go short when it crashes. And trust me, bear markets are when the money is made.
Yeah.
Bull markets, on average, take 3 to 4 years of slow grinding up to the right, DCA, continue to go. But then, in literally, on average, 1 year is a bear market. You can lose 70%. 70% in 1 year, right? While you just took 4 or 5 years to make 100%. So you're not left with nothing. But on average, you go down 70%. But guess what? If you're shorting the market at the top, in 1 year, you just made what everybody else made in 3.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the market does what it does. There's a reason why the world does what it does, because the world needs to be manipulated so that the markets can be manipulated, because it's 100 or 200 people that control the markets, controlling all the people so that they can move the money through you.
There you go.
That's how it works.
Yep.
So they put on a show, and they lead you to believe what they want you to believe, because they've already positioned themselves where they want to be. And so that's why we always got to be watching the books and see. Like, I will say, over the past few days, although we have pumped up, I have seen massive short orders coming in. There is people selling $14-15 billion $1 million in one transaction over and over and over again. It's called iceberging because their order is so big that it can't sell it all at once, or else it will just crash. So they're iceberging price in, and you will see one big order split across a $1,000 price range, right? It's called iceberging because if you put it all at, say, $100,000, it hits $100,000, it'll never get past it, and then people start to, oh, what's going on here? There's one order here that's not allowing it to get back. So then everybody gets out, and then now there's no liquidity to take. So they don't want to just put an order block in. There's small order blocks, but they can't just put a massive order block in because then there's no way to build more liquidity for them to take. They want to continue to have it itch up. Hey guys, it's still going. They're iceberging that order so that when you buy, they can just eventually, okay, boom, once the buyers run out, now we can drop it. I just pulled all the liquidity up to that order and all that new liquidity in my iceberg range to take. So it just allows them to make more money, right? And that's all they care about, which makes no sense to me. Oh, we had a nice little pop up there. I thought we were going to dump. There's definitely some demand, but I don't know. Inefficiency, massive buy. That's pretty much just a liquidation right there. Probably a bunch of people shorting right here. So same thing. Yeah, wow, if that turns green, then that's pretty bullish. Dang, don't do that. I'm openly short right now. I've been long for the last week or so. And, I mean, it's a tight stop on the short.
It's hard to say because we keep going up. But it's like...
Well, Bitcoin keeps going up.
Yeah.
For the last few days, but it also, like, the Bitcoin's the leading indicator.
Sunday dump here, so.
Bitcoin's the leading indicator, remember, right? Because it's liquid, so you can move Bitcoin around anytime you want to. So if you zoom out and we look at the daily time frame, we had the pump, the sideways, and then the loss, right? So that compared to the S&P, the pump sideways, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the S&P's most likely coming back down here because we've seen it already happen with Bitcoin, the leading indicator, the king, the thing you want to follow to know what's going on, right? Because it's a leading indicator of what's happening because it's liquid, because it's so readily available. Meanwhile, stocks, you have to talk to your broker. Your broker has to make the call. Yeah. The market maker has to do the order, right? So if anything's closed during the holidays, first of all, it's going to take up to a week for that to carry over into the actual candlesticks and stuff, right? So
you're not actually looking at what's going on right now.
No.
At this minute.
No. Right. That's filtered. It's like a VPN. Like if you want to do something, well, that's to filter through the market maker first before it's going to reflect on the chart.
Yeah.
But Bitcoin, there's nothing.
This is instantly.
This is instant. Exactly. There's nothing in between.
This is what I love about it.
Well, absolutely. It's one of the best things going for it.
It's transparent, but it's private, right?
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. And a lot of people talk about how they don't want Bitcoin for the reasons of control and stuff, but it's like, well, there's certain cryptos like XRP that you don't want for sure. That makes complete sense. Like I get it, it works really quickly and stuff, but like as far as control goes, don't be holding XRP to try and gain value on.
Well, that's the thing. When the governments are working with them and pushing for them, we're working with the creator of Ripple. Well, why the hell do I want to invest in that now?
Yeah, wait a minute. You guys screwed up. You guys have been doing nothing but screwing up for the last 100 years. Why would I want to work with somebody who's working with you?
Am I going to take the thing that's, traded for 10 cents and is now trading for 100,000, or am I going to listen to this guy who just started?
Well, every time it hits $3, it just dumps because there's only like 7 people that hold 70% of the supply or something like that. So they have, it's ridiculous.
No, Bitcoin is the one.
Bitcoin's king.
Everything else is noise. It's there to distract you while everybody else collects the Bitcoin.
So most likely what we're seeing right now in the news is probably something that's going to try and scare and startle the markets, which will probably be the top indicator for these traditional stock markets. And we'll start to see pretty quick crashes over the next few weeks because of the news. We could see, but you have to be like, this is the opportunity that we've been talking about. Right? We're due for a correction because things are overheated, over leveraged. When that correction happens, that's when you want to be paying attention. That's when we don't get scared. That's when we start to turn on our either DCA strategy, or we turn on whatever strategy that you have, whatever money you've been putting aside to try and invest or to learn about this stuff, that's when you start to deploy capital. We buy big red candles. When we see big red candles, that's when we're looking to buy. Big green candles, that's when we're looking to take profits.
You know what's a great sign though, is as the S&P is going down, the MSTR stocks are going to be going up.
Yeah, MicroStrategy. Let's have a look at strategy.
Oh, strategy's been hurting, but it's gone up the last couple days, I think, here.
Yeah, a little bit of a
green.
Still down. It's still below our buy range here.
Oh,
I figured it'd have a bounce right in here somewhere.
No. We're still way down on that one, but we're seeing we've had a.
But look at the inefficiency. Like that's.
Well, that was the thing,
right? That's crazy. Massive gaps here. Like all that stuff had to get filled at one point.
Yeah.
Well, massive support down here. MicroStrategy isn't probably going to have a good bounce until Bitcoin has a good bounce.
Well, no, exactly. And that's what you're going to have to do with this stock.
Yeah,
it's going to be played with like Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, it's speculating on Bitcoin at this point because the software itself, I don't think, is much to do with what the company does anymore. It's more of just a Bitcoin holding.
He's just the first treasury.
Which is also interesting because the United States government claimed for a while that they were going to start a Bitcoin strategic reserve.
Right.
And now that hasn't happened officially, but there's nothing that says they can't use a American company to do it through, right? Because that's how everybody uses LLCs to invest. Okay, they don't do it like Nancy Pelosi is the best performing trader of all time, but it's because of her companies, right? Like she traded. It's all insider trading, but legally she's not allowed to insider trade because she's in the government.
Yeah.
But of course she has, and all she has to do is do it through an LLC. So what we could be seeing here is the United States Bitcoin reserve through strategy. Now, that's total speculation. There's nothing that's
surprised, but yeah.
That's just it. Like if it's a thing, you won't know about it until after it's already played out.
And they've made their money or whatever. Crap on it too. So.
And then the government just goes in and say, okay, now we control strategy. This is what we're doing, right? Because it's an American company. So there's somebody that can be held accountable for the laws apply to that person because it's their company. It becomes centralized.
Especially with Saylor saying he's taking it all to the grave. You think a government's going to want to let all that Bitcoin go to the grave?
Yeah.
No, somebody's going to be working on a way to get that, but.
Exactly.
I'm still invested in it.
It's all behind the scenes too, and that's another thing too. It's like a lot of stuff that's happening in the news. Just remember, they're taking your eye away from what they're really doing.
It's noise. It's little bits and pieces of what they want to show you, the full story.
Yeah. Either way, though, I think opportunity is. I've said it for a while now, but opportunity is on the horizon. We've seen a nice bit of a correction here. It would make a lot of sense for us to come up and have like a little bit of a swing failure where we try to push here, but then we fail, come back down, and we end up losing and going lower for another step down. And that would be on some sort of news, of course. This is what the chart looks like is going to happen, but then the news is what's going to force it to happen, because it needs to manipulate those people, the mass amount of people, to sell their Bitcoin so that they can buy it, right? That's what they're trying to do. Market makers want you to sell. The strong hands want the weak hands to sell. They want to shake them out. So until everybody realizes that that's the case and stops selling their Bitcoin and just continues to buy and opts out of the Ponzi fiat scheme, then we're going to see things get crazier and crazier and crazier because they are just trying to scare you. That's all it is.
Get that God candle going.
And then that's it. Like once you understand how it works, you're just like, oh man. I mean, as long as people aren't, knocking on your front door, everything's most likely going to be okay. I feel terrible for people who have had their lives ruined because of fiat debasement, currency debasement. You just really got to protect yourself because obviously no one's doing it for you.
Well, yeah, that's educate yourself, start asking the questions, and start finding the solutions, because nobody's going to hand them to you.
And here's the other thing too. A lot of those people who have had hard times in their country, if they're holding Bitcoin and they're forced to leave, well, they just take their ledger with them in their pocket and they can go anywhere in the world with their phone in their ledger or their phone in their BitCard or whatever the hell they have, right?
You can't do that with cash.
Can't do that with cash because people, it's just, it doesn't work that way.
Not accepted everywhere.
It's not accepted. You can't cross borders with a lot of cash. Like if we're talking about your life savings here, like you're trying to go to a different country to build a new life.
Yeah.
Like
I could take 10 million Bitcoin with me.
You could.
Right on a ledger.
Absolutely.
Gone.
You could. And that's just a thing too. It's like eventually they're going to try and figure out something along the lines to prevent that from happening. But at the time,
the physical ownership of it.
But that's another thing too. You can also just say I have no Bitcoin, right? If especially if you have it on cold storage. If you have it on an exchange, then you're accountable. But if you have it on cold storage, then you're just sitting there. That's what it's put away for a rainy day, right? Like and then if you need to, you can transfer it over and do what you got to do at the time. But the thing is that you can always import a wallet into an old wallet into a new wallet, right? If you have your seed phrase, you can lose everything as long as you memorize your seed phrase. Then you can open a new wallet, import your wallet to that using your seed phrase, and then boom, there's your Bitcoin. Because all the Bitcoin is on the blockchain. All you do when you buy it is get access to it.
Yeah, which is the
nothing
part behind it.
No Bitcoin is ever lost. No Bitcoin is ever created nor destroyed. It's just all on the blockchain.
Whether or not you can access it.
Yeah, the accessibility can be lost, but people. You got to take care of your shit, right? Like,
don't
be self-sustainable.
Polar bear swim and use your ledger, right? Like shit.
I've done that before.
So I got to start restacking sats. So.
Every year I do that. I get caught for the polar bear plunge on January 1st, lose all my Bitcoin. Damn it.
I don't know why my ledger. I'm sleeping with it into the new year or something.
Oh man, people talk about how banks are going to be irrelevant and stuff, and it's like, I don't know if they'll be irrelevant. They'll just change because like I know people that have their ledger in a lockbox at the bank. Yeah. Right? Because
it could become like a security deposit place.
Exactly. Well, that's just it. Like just like you see back in the day at a hardware store, there was 2 self-checkouts and a bunch of tills. Right? Now there's 1 till and a bunch of self-checkouts. Things change. Things are like, so the bank will be, and I'm sure you've seen this at the bank too, there's less tellers at the bank every time you go there because they're like, oh, can you do online banking? Like, we really don't want to work.
Yeah, actually, I have gone into a bank and they're like, can you just do this online? Yeah. Why did I come here then?
Yeah, exactly, right. So we're already seeing the shift happening to it becoming less of a personal peer-to-peer banking system and it just being a place where a safe place where they have all the cameras and potentially security and whatever else in a vault, and you can go there with your safe deposit box.
You don't even need to talk to them for a mortgage. You can just apply right online, get a phone call, and we'll transfer it all.
Yeah, and the funny thing is too, it's like back in the day, that's all a bank really was too. Like they would hold people's gold and stuff.
Yeah.
But the bank would get robbed and everybody would lose their shit. Like nowadays, if somebody tries to go in and just say we're in the future and everyone's got their cold storage wallets in the bank, and somebody tries to rob the bank, well, what are they going to do with a bunch of cold storage wallets?
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing to incentivize robbing a bank at that point. There's no value for them. They're just going to go and get a bunch of USB drives.
There's already nothing in the bank.
Exactly. And there's no money in the bank. Yeah.
What are you robbing at
right.
this
So
point?
Think about it. It's actually protecting everybody because it takes away the reason for anybody to ever do anything like that because there's no point for them to do it. So.
Yeah, and then,
I think the future is getting better if you look at it in a broad scale, and especially if you pay attention to the right stuff. Of course, it's very easy to go down terrible.
Oh yeah, rabbit holes and all the BS and the noise.
The distraction.
Yeah.
Right. It's very easy to do that. They want you to do that. That's how they keep you distracted and divided. Yeah, exactly right. Which has happened overnight.
That's another thing I've noticed with Bitcoin people is you'll never see a Bitcoin person who's really one side. They just want to work.
Yeah.
Right. They want a society that works all together.
You want to try and
nobody is trying to be like, oh, this side needs to be eliminated. This needs to be gone. And no, we just need to work together. And Bitcoin is what should be bringing the world together.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It totally is. And you're right. Bitcoiners are the best. They're just always having a smile on their face because they get it, right? Yeah. They understand that everything's going to be okay because they've positioned themselves properly. And it sucks too because there's people who are so far out of the loop that are just down in the dumps and they're like, oh, life sucks. This is blah, blah, blah. It's like, man, just educate yourself. Yeah. It's so possible. You can change your life in a matter of days.
Oh, I know. And within a year, or it's...
Wow. Doesn't take that long.
Wow.
You don't even have to read the white paper if you want to. Copy and paste it into a text reader and have the text read to you if that's the way you learn. There's nothing wrong with that. No. Everybody learns differently. I learn a lot by videos too, because in school the teachers didn't want to read the books. They didn't make us read the books. They just put on the movie of the book. And like, right? Like it's just where we are, right? And now everything's on YouTube, and you can go to the library, sure, but you can also find everything on YouTube, and also you can use AI to find anything you want, right?
AI is the new Google.
Yeah, like
remember when
use
Google
it as a search
came
engine
out, and it was Google it. Well, just go on AI. It'll give you.
Well, yeah. The unfortunate thing about Google is that in the past decade or so, it's been centralized, and it only puts what it wants you to see, unless you scroll a few pages.
Why we're gonna start seeing the downfall of the Google search engine.
Yeah.
Because everybody has just got ChatGPT app or the DeepSeek, the China one, and all these other ones that's their search engine now. I even do it. I don't use Google. I use ChatGPT.
No, because you can be more specific too, right? Because you can give ChatGPT like a paragraph. I'm looking for this. I want it to do this for me, blah blah blah, and this is how I want it to work, and I want it to be, and then it'll find exactly what you're looking for.
I'm not getting a politically charged response.
Exactly. You're not getting a sponsored, paid for, whatever. I mean, maybe, I don't know, at one point, but like that's the thing too, is everything is changing, so you have to be able to adapt.
Yeah.
And if you don't adapt, then you're gonna just maintain being controlled, basically, because that's what they want. They don't want mass chaos.
Right? You're gonna be upset and angry and not understand. And
and then don't worry, there's a pill for that.
Yes. Yeah.
So you can
that costs more money. So
you can go down that route if you want to, but I know a few people that have, and it's not very good. Doesn't end up well. You just become a client, and natural healing is usually much more beneficial.
How long have humans been around for, and how long have the Rockefellers, Western pharmaceuticals been around for?
Yeah.
Well,
it's just all about education. All right, well, let's wrap it up. Maybe we should play some Golden Tea.
Yeah.
Get into some Golden Tea. I haven't played Golden Tea for quite a bit, actually.
Oh, see if we have another close game here.
Yeah, it was a good one last time. All right, folks, stay smart out there. Do your research. Make sure that you don't side with one opinion or another, especially
make your own.
With lack of education. Remember, there's always two sides to the story. Look at things as left brain and as what's the word I'm looking for? Logical as you can. Yeah. Don't let your emotions skew your opinions.
Ruin money.
Absolutely. They ruin lives.
Gains. Yeah.
They ruin lives, ruin gains.
Be in control of your emotions, and you'll be in control of your own life.
Yeah. Logical life is awesome.
Facts, not feelings.
Oh, that's a good one. Facts, not feelings. All right, folks, let's see. I don't even know. Well, how do we end this show? It's been so long.
Yeah. You don't have hotkeys.
Hotkeys. Where is it? There it is. Via. No. Well, via. Oh. The world is burning. It's burning. Oh, my God. All right, see you, folks. Love you. Peace. I recommend putting your opinions aside and learning how to think logically